De Nederlandse minister van Buitenlandse Zaken Halbe Zijlstra heeft zijn ontslag op 12 februari 2018 ingediend. Dit nadat hij gelogen had over een vergadering met de Russische president Vladimir Poetin in 2006. Volgens Zijlstra had Poetin in 2006 gezegd te streven naar een groot Rusland met diverse omringende landen.
The Dutch foreign minister has resigned after revealing on Monday he had lied about a meeting with the Russian president 12 years ago.
Geen andere optie dan vandaag mijn ontslag aan te bieden aan Zijne Majesteit de Koning. Ik doe dat met spijt in mijn hart. Maar in de volle overtuiging dat Nederland een minister van Buitenlandse Zaken verdient. Excuus. Die boven elke twijfel verheven is.
Yeah, apologies if you could only see the end of that translation. Medina Kochnov is here, though, with more on the story. Medina, tell us what happened today and remind us what the now former Dutch FM said about this supposed meeting.
Well, just as you saw there, the Dutch foreign minister was quite emotional when he announced his resignation. He was supported by the country's prime minister, who was also present during this announcement, and he also seemed quite moved by this situation. Now, what happened today is the result of a big scandal that erupted when it was revealed that the Dutch foreign minister lied back in 2016 about an event in his life. And at that time, when he described that event, that didn't raise that much of a lot of questions, as it happened when Russia was accused of all sorts of things. Moscow was accused of carrying out aggressive politics, so that lie fit quite well into that context. Now, back in 2016, the minister, the Dutch foreign minister, said that he was present at a meeting with the Russian President Vladimir Putin, and he heard the president talking about unifying Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, the Baltic states and Kazakhstan into one single country, creating a greater Russia.
Ik was begin 2006.
In early 2006, I was at Vladimir Putin's countryside house. I stopped at the back of a room where a meeting was being held, but I could hear very well Vladimir Putin talking about a greater Russia. He said this included Russia, Belarus, Ukraine and the Baltic states, and that Kazakhstan would also be nice to have.
Well, these were his words back in 2016. But then when he was confronted about that, he acknowledged that that was a lie, that he was not even in Russia in 2006, and he was only protecting a source of his, a person that was at that meeting. And now the minister said that his credibility had been damaged by the scandal to such an extent that his position had become untenable. Now, he described the recent events as the biggest mistake in his political career, adding that the country deserves a foreign minister who is beyond any doubt. Now, all that is taking place just one day before his official meeting with the Russian foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov. I was about to attend this meeting, as were many other journalists, and we had questions for him prepared, of course, concerning this particular situation. But now it seems that the meeting is off the table, as it was officially declined by the Dutch side.
Yeah, thanks very much for that update on our breaking news this hour, Medina Kochnova.